In the year 1924, Central Asia, a region often referred to as the heart of the Silk Road, was witnessing a seismic shift. This was the year the Soviet Union's influence began to permeate, altering the landscape of these ancient lands. Among these changes was the formation of the Uzbek Soviet Socialist Republic, a development that brought forth new political, economic and cultural systems. This was both an end and a beginning, marking a departure from old ways and the dawn of a new era. Thus began a century of unprecedented transformations for this vibrant region. As simultaneously, the Soviet-style governance, with its bold strokes of central planning and command economy, was imposed, replacing centuries-old local governance structures. This shift brought a sea change in the societal fabric of Uzbekistan and its Central Asian neighbours. Pay a brief importance to cotton policy in Uzbekistan. Yet it wasn't just politics and language. The local culture and traditions also felt the weight of Soviet influence. Traditional art forms were reshaped, cuisine acquired new flavours, and even the timeless folk tales were retold with a Soviet spin. Despite the dissolution of the Soviet Union in 1991, the impact of its reign is still palpable in the region. The remnants of the Soviet era live on, a testament to a time of profound change and adaptation. As the Soviet influence continued to take root in the interwar years, a significant transformation was taking place in the agricultural landscape of Central Asia, particularly in Uzbekistan. This was the rise of cotton monoculture. The Soviets saw the fertile lands of Uzbekistan as a gold mine for cotton production. This agricultural shift was not just about meeting the economic demands of the Soviet Union, it was a strategic move to further embed the command economy into the very fabric of Central Asian society. Local farmers, who had once grown a variety of crops, were now forced to focus solely on cotton. The Soviet Union's central planning crop diseases. The environmental impact was also significant, leading to soil degradation and water scarcity, issues that continue to plague the region today. However, the cotton fields were not just a symbol of Soviet control, they also became a symbol of resistance. Many local farmers resisted the shift, clinging to their traditional farming practices and cultural heritage. Despite the pressures of the Soviet command economy, these farmers found ways to adapt and survive, showcasing the resilience and tenacity of the Central Asian people. As we move into the chaos of World War II, this resilience would be tested further, setting the stage for the next chapter in Central Asia's history. Even as the tremors of World War II were felt far and wide, Central Asia found itself in the eye of the storm, its fate intertwined with the larger global narrative. These nations, under the Soviet banner, contributed significantly to the war effort. Their citizens fought bravely on the front lines, while back home industries were repurposed to support the war machinery. The war, however, left a lasting scar, disrupting the societal equilibrium and introducing a new era of economic and political challenges. In the midst of this, the Soviet Union enforced its cotton policy in Uzbekistan. The fertile lands of the Fergana Valley, traditionally known for their diverse agricultural produce, were transformed into monocropped cotton fields. This shift was not just an economic decision, but a political maneuver, embedding the Soviet command economy deeper into the fabric of Uzbekistan. The policy had far-reaching effects, altering the agrarian landscape and leading to serious environmental issues, including soil degradation and water scarcity. These events left a lasting imprint on Central Asia, shaping its future in profound ways. They sowed the seeds of change, the effects of which continue to be felt in the post-Soviet era, as these nations grapple with their past while charting their own paths towards the future. Scene 4, the Soviet influence. The collapse of the Soviet Union signaled a new era of independence for the Central Asian nations. This transformation began in the 1990s with nations such as Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan setting off on a quest for self-sufficiency and sovereignty. Central to this storyline is Uzbekistan, a country that has charted its course with an extraordinary infusion of resilience and determination. This post-Soviet journey is more than just a political emancipation. It's about carving out a unique national identity. It has been a journey of renaissance, of reclaiming their rich cultural inheritance while concurrently engaging with the contemporary world. Economically, these nations have made significant progress in diversifying their economies, moving away from the single industry focus of the Soviet